just waiting for everybody else to get here.
Hey.
I'm here.
Going.
Good, how are you?
Pretty good.
I sent the link to Kaylee.
Kaylee and I were on the other call, but we were gonna just call your link and her email. I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, I didn't ever get the other call.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's Kaylee Davis. There it is. Okay. How to post the link in the discussion board after we're done?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Hello?
Hi.
Hey.
Oh, yay, Megan, you're here.
Yeah. Hold on, I need to pull up my notes really fast.
Should we start? I don't have much time.
Yeah.
All right. So go back. Should we just start with the first question?
Yeah.
The first question is, sorry, go ahead.
What were your impressions of the CRC article and video by the United Nations? What about the article and videos by parental rights?
Well, everything they explained, on the CRC website and stuff, it sounded really good at face value, and it sounded like a kind of thing well, why isn't this passed? You have to be insane not to. It seems like common sense, but they were kind of explaining it in a way that was maybe out of context. And then once I watched the video by parental rights, I kind of started to understand why it's not passed, and they just didn't explain it well enough and what it entails and the application involved.
Yeah, for me, I don't know. I felt like, especially when I got to the second question about researching other stuff, I can't decide if it's actually they didn't word it right or if it is actually a scary thing to have passed,
Mm-hmm.
The other articles that I read on it, it doesn't, it sounds it does sound like it's trying to kind of take away some of the rights, but I can see where in a lot of situations it would protect kids, but in a lot of situations, if you're following what the Proclamation of the Family says, it's almost like it would impede on some of your rights,
Right.
But how would you express that to somebody that's not of our religion?
Well, and I think
right.
if they aren't of our religion, that it just seems to me like it is going to impede on rights, parents' right to basically take their kids to church is what it seemed like. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. I think. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I think that I don't know. There are a lot more arguments against it than just religious because.
That's just the one that I thought of first,
Right. Right. It's a very important argument, but also it undermines parents.
Right.
Kids can question anything they want, and I mean, I feel like maybe initially it wasn't meant to be this way. Maybe it help children. They didn't want it to be applied this way, but sometimes, the principals are right, and what the general authorities teach, they're right. But sometimes, in some wards, you have people that don't understand exactly what they're trying to say, and maybe they teach it a different way, or they end up teaching something that's incorrect. And so it's the application, how people apply it, sometimes messes with things.
Right. Well, in one article I was reading said that it took a really long time to even write this legislator or write whatever I guess you would call this. before it was even put into place by these nations. So it would make sense to where it like kind of just kept getting more and more misconstrued and not exactly what they meant for it to first do, you know?
Right. Like I can see how maybe in some situations it might help. Like for example, if a family, if they're a family of like neo-Nazis or something, like extreme example, are the family was in the cult and a child didn't agree with that and was like, I want to neo-Nazi. So they would tell the government or they would be like required to go to these like meetings or something. That could possibly help that situation. The majority of people don't like religion. A lot of times religion isn't like harmful like that.
It just made me really sorry, I can't really tell when you're
it's okay. It's such a bad connection, and sometimes things get like, I don't know, they come through too slow. So it's
right.
I understand. You're not interrupting, but go ahead.
It kind of made me wonder like who the actual people were that wrote this. Like what is their background for them to think that this is necessary for everyone? You know what I mean?
I love that.
Right.
That's what I was thinking too.
Like how could you possibly get a majority of people that represent people all around the world, across the board, different religions and sects, that would say, yep, this sounds like a fantastic idea. Like it really made me wonder, like, what's the background of these people? What have they been exposed to? Like, you know, are they atheist? Are they agnostic? Are they religious at all? Like, it just kind of felt like it really was an attack on religious parents and especially certain sections of it, obviously. I mean, other sections weren't, but it just did make me wonder, like, who did they get to write this that would think that this is a great idea for everybody?
Yeah, I think maybe they deal a lot, wrote it, maybe dealt a lot in like extreme examples, like extreme situations.
Right.
Where they kind of think would help deal with that so much. They've started to think that all families are like that, or they just want to be safe, and where some of the ideas be like a good idea, but definitely not for everybody.
Right. Well, like I wrote in my notes, I said it seemed kind of scary to me. I definitely don't think we have enough laws protecting children and their rights, but I don't think we're even enforcing the laws that we do have. Like, I mean, I can say personally, from my personal experience, I have an ex-husband who's been abusive to my children, and because it was first-time offenses or it wasn't as bad as this case that we saw, they didn't do anything about it. Or because they reside with me 90% of the time. Like, we're not even protecting kids when people are saying there's something going on, but then they want to put something like this into effect. Like, why don't we start putting in the legislation that we already have in effect into effect and using it and putting, like, doing stuff to people who are already breaking the laws that we currently have rather than adding more to make the lives of parents who are trying to do what's right harder. You know, that was my thoughts when I read it. But that's coming from my background that I have, you know.
No, it's totally true, and it's really sad through divorce or whatever life choices adults, quote unquote, make. Children are always affected, and the
Right.
government treats them as property, and they don't actually have a right. And it's,
Yeah.
I don't agree with it. I agree with you. It's sad, but they need to change. Like, people that are working with children need to become a louder voice and voice for the children more than their personal, like, I don't know, their personal benefit, I guess you could say.
Should we go to the next question?
Yeah.
If you are from or have ever lived in a country where the CRC has already been ratified, what are some of the positive and negative effects you have observed as a result? If you are from the U.S. or Somalia, where the CRC has not yet been ratified, then research another country to document the positive and negative effects and relate how they could benefit or hurt your country with a future CRC ratification. I had a hard time finding this stuff. I looked at Australia, but everything that I read and could find was for it. So it was really hard to get like that negative effect feedback. But it talked about like the myths surrounding it, and they were basically, in every article that I could find, were just trying to debunk all these what they referred to as myths. But I could see them as true concerns for parents, you know.
I'm sorry I kind of left for a while. Are we still on the same question?
No, we're on the second one now.
Okay. All right. So what countries, sorry, can you just like tell me what countries you guys did? Maybe like summarize what you just said? I'm sorry.
I looked at Australia.
Okay.
I was just focusing on the fact that the United States, if they did do that, it would take away the fact that we are a free country. Like, it's almost forcing the parents and the children. Like, I don't know. It just seems like a very bad way to do things. I don't know how to express it, but I just feel like it takes away our freedom.
Right. Like, it puts the government in control.
Yeah, exactly.
Parents. I looked at the country New Zealand. I think that's a country.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure because I think New Zealand, Australia. I don't sometimes think of it as like the same place, but I don't think it is. It ratified the CRC in '93, and the positive effects are children cannot be made to fight an armed conflict and they can't be sold. So that's good. But the negative thing is, a child can refuse to attend a class or religious service based on religious or cultural grounds. And I just don't think children, they might make their decisions a lot on their limited experience. And sometimes, like, emotions sort of get in the way and want to rebel. So I don't know. To some degree, I feel like children, they're adults to make certain decisions like that.
Exactly.
Well, and I think about the quote that says, like, if we don't teach our children to follow Christ, who will? Like, parents aren't even being offered that opportunity, you know, because of this.
Right.
Even in recent years, simply in the United States, for people like petitioning to take God out of the Pledge of Allegiance and everything, like, they're slowly pushing for children to go to school and not even know who a God is. Like, that's something you'll only ever learn at home.
Right.
Right.
Yep. Should we go to the next question?
Yeah. How did Kelly's presentation help your understanding of the ecological approach to family advocacy?
Well, she talked about different levels that she's advocated on, like within her community, and then she went to UN, and that's a different level. And like, she advocated to the people like around her, and she was to help handicapped people, and that was a different level as well.
Yeah. Go ahead, Keely.
No, you're good. I think that answers it pretty well. Like, I don't feel like we need to really go more on it. It's a very, like, simple a question. I thought it was really cool what she did. I don't know.
I mean, I think that it's important that you can advocate for it within your own home, and you can advocate for it within, like, your kids' schools and in church. But I mean, at this point in the world, it's important that we are going above and beyond, and that we are advocating for it outside of those realms, because voices aren't being heard. And so I think she did a good job,
Right.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay, the next question.
Um,
What system or level do you personally find would be the most difficult to advocate and why?
Well, I said macro systems and chrono systems because it's hard to change like cultural values and things that are accepted in a time period. Like you can't just sort of change that like by yourself easily.
That's what I said too, and just for the same reasons that I basically just said in the last question is it's easier to advocate within your closer circles and within your homes and churches and schools and communities than it is on those bigger exterior levels. And like it's just once you get to that point, and if you have something different to say than the masses, it's like they don't want to listen. And so it's
Right.
not only is it harder, but it's scarier and more intimidating when you get to that level. And so it's discouraging.
I agree.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I have to go, so I have to leave. But thank you so much. I'm sorry, I thought we would have started earlier.
Oh, it's okay.
But you're going to continue without me. Sorry. We'll
I'm
talk to
sorry
you
about
next week. No, you're totally fine. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. And then the last question.
I guess we just have one more question.
Yeah. What system or level do you personally feel is the most important to advocate and why?
Family.
Yeah.
Because
As important as it is to advocate within those other systems, I mean, we've been taught, especially by the brethren, that it's important to, like, what we do within the walls of our own homes is more important than what we can do on those exterior levels.
right. And I think that like family values, things that are taught in the family can override things that are taught in society. Like case in point, the whole church. Like a lot of children, I feel like probably most, take on the values of their church and their family rather than society.
Right.
Stronger pull.
No, I agree. So that was it for the questions, right?
Right. I don't think we said our names at the beginning, but
Oh. So I'm Megan.
I'm Genevieve.
And Kaylee had to leave early. So as a summary, I guess, we said that we thought the CRC has good points to it and that could definitely help some situations, like in extreme situations. But for the most part, it seems unnecessary. I guess that's what I thought. Do you agree, Genevieve?
Yes.
Unnecessary for the normal masses. And that it's important to basically advocate within our homes as the most important part, but it's also important to advocate outside of our homes when the time comes. But we should really be concentrating on our homes as well. Would you say, Genevieve?
Yes.
Anything to add?
Nope.
All right. So I will stop the broadcast and I will copy the link to the discussion board.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.